welcome to season 2 of
Ask the Culpeppers.
Ask the Culpeppers.
We are the
Culpeppers.
Culpeppers.
And so be sure to follow our sponsors and be sure to send any questions that you might have to the email address below and check out our prior episodes. You can check out season 1 and the other prior season 2 episodes. All right?
All right, let's dive right in.
Let's get on into
we got
it.
a pretty fun question today, so let's hear.
Let's see what we got. It says, my wife is wonderful, but she lives in a bit of a fantasy land. She posts pictures of our kids online, and sometimes they have identifying factors like posting photos of them in front of their schools in their uniforms or in our neighborhood. She has the location tag on. Isn't this dangerous? She says I am being paranoid, possibly paranoid dad.
Uh-oh. I love you for this question.
I don't know how much help I'm going to be on this.
Now listen, you've chosen to submit a question about internet safety to an internet family that is all about social media. And when I say a family, it's really Mr. Culpepper, who is all about posting and tweeting.
Okay.
And I actually would prefer to be reading a book or fishing or knitting something or baking something.
Well, I'm actually more private.
Taking
but
a nice walk. Okay. I'm more private and reserved, believe it or not. But Mr. Culpepper loves to post everything. But I have to tell you, he has been very sensitive to my request. And so when I say stop, I believe that video contains some information that we don't want released, school names, identifying. I do express my concerns, and he is very quick to delete, repost, things like that. Because you're right, we live in a world with some crazy folks. Let's just put it out there. And our number one job as parents is to ensure that our children are safe. And so while it may seem like paranoid at times, I don't know what you're doing. Like if you're like, I don't know what else is happening. But I believe in erring on the side of caution, because you never know who may be your next door neighbor 2 streets over that could very well be stalking you and looking for an opportunity, especially in the States here recently. We've had so many children abductions. It's kind of crazy. So I'm saying be safe.
Okay, so Dad, I'm gonna have a little trouble helping you with this one, but I want to clarify a couple things though. So the reason I take pictures and do videos, the reason is because I document our family history for generations to come to see. So it happened, our video one went viral, and many others have been seen over places, and people are inspired by them. But my initial reason for making the videos was to keep up with our family legacy and history, because I don't know any of my relatives past my great-grandmother. So I didn't want that to happen to my children's children. I wanted them to see these videos and see what Pawpaw was like, because I may never see them. But just so happened, people like them, and we share them. Yeah. Yes, I take pictures of my children, my house, my family. People know what city we live in, stuff like that. And I'm cautious when we go places to keep our children close by, because you do have some idiots out there and so forth and so on. But as my wife said, I try not to share anything that's going to say, hey, they're right there or they're home. Because in our city, if we go to McDonald's or eat Chick-fil-A, one of our favorite Chick-fil-A's, which is in Garland, stuff like that. And I post those pictures. But I think what's more important is when we go places, we keep up with each other. We don't allow our kids to go with strangers, if you will. And we're always watching, even here, whether we're at home, whether it be outside in our community, because, we are a community family. We love our neighbors. We're out in our community. We do things in our community. And I think with us keeping a watch over each other, and it helps to keep it down, because one other thing I want to add is, truthfully, if people wanted to find you, they'll find you.
Yeah, that's true.
With the age of the internet and so much information, if they truly wanted to find a person, they can find them. So we don't want to live paranoid, if you will. We do want to be careful, but that's just one of those things with the age of internet and video, to where it's just out there, and it's very hard to do.
And I was reading an article the other day. It's like this guy that had been missing, and like he ended up being in the back of someone else's photograph that they took and posted. So like when people really want to find you, like they can, it's unavoidable. Even if you decide you're going to have no social media presence, I don't think that that's even possible, because again, even in schools, people are taking pictures. And in my work, like I've been more mindful about safety for kids and things like that, because that's what I've done for so long. And so, you know, even when you have families that come for programs or, you know, opportunities where kids are going to sing or awards, like everybody's videoing everybody's kid. Like they have no thought for, you know, the security and safety of kids. And so it becomes a really, really big job to keep kids safe. And so I think Derek is right. I think the big thing is do what you can to protect them online, but more importantly, when you're together as a family, when you're out, making sure that you are keeping a good track of them, that you're staying places where you can observe them. One of the things I've done for years, which Derek, I think when the kids were younger, he never really understood, is I've always dressed the kids like when we went out places and we were going to be somewhere, like let's say we're going to go to the zoo. They're going to wear like a neon yellow shirt or bright orange, and they're going to both be dressed alike. Because when we're out, I've always found it easier to see them if I dress them a certain way when I know we're going somewhere. So like for me, even now, when we go out as a family, I like to try to know what everyone's wearing or dress them in a way that we complement each other so that they're easy to sight. Because again, I want to be able to see them at a distance if they're playing on a playground or if they're kind of across the room from me. And so that's something I've always done too, because like when they were little, and we joked about this when I was out with the girls, I had like the little backpack leash for DJ when he was little, because he would just go everywhere. But we can't leash him anymore. So what can we do now to keep them safe? And that's the big thing, is just to be mindful when you're out. And to watch them, but don't be paranoid and don't drive yourself crazy.
This is just the age that we live in, because social media does offer some benefits. Like even with us, you know, when those memories come up on Facebook that you posted like 7 or 8 years ago, and it brings back those memories of when your children were small. Because I even do the same thing, Dad. So you know, you started out by saying something that I really appreciate. You said, "My wife is wonderful."
Yeah.
You know, which I believe she has good intent with what she does. Sure. So, you know, so just support her. Just, you know, try to ease up on it a little bit and let her have fun and just embrace, and maybe even get in some of the pictures yourself. Because I hadn't always done pictures and video either. This has just come about the last, 4 years, 5 years. So now I like it. But at first
he's hooked. And now he's easing us all in, because I was very reluctant at first too. But it is fun, and it's something that we can do together. But again, like you said, you've got to be safe, and so that's a good thing too. But
that's it.
As always, we're so glad that you tuned in and you decided to join us. Remember to, of course, email your questions to the information provided on the screen. We love to hear all about your thoughts on our videos, so please do follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
You got it. All right, folks. Peace and high grease. We'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.
All right.